Today, Kabari is with Allan Samson, an immigration attorney in San Francisco. Hi, good morning, Allan. How are you today?
Selamat siang, John.
Okay.
Apa kabar?
Tell me a little bit about your background in the immigration.
Saya akan mulai bicara bahasa Indonesia, lalu saya akan change to bahasa Inggris. Saya bekas profesor di Universitas California di Berkeley. Spesialisasi saya pada waktu itu politik Asia Negara, teristimewa politik Indonesia. Sesudah saya mengajar untuk beberapa tahun, saya masuk belajar hukum, dan sekarang saya advokat dengan spesialisasi di hukum imigrasi, hukum perceraian, dan hukum perdagangan. Sekarang saya masih bisa bicara bahasa Indonesia sedikit, tapi saya tidak lanjut lagi, jadi maaf sekali.
In this recent months, are there any changes in the immigration law?
There are always changes in immigration laws, and always changes in interpretation. The biggest change in the last 6 months is that the filing fee has doubled on most applications. So you really have to be almost quite rich in order to file almost any immigration application. But people are still doing it. People are still applying for asylum, for investor visas, for intercompany L1 transfers, for H1 visas, and for student visas or student status in the United States. But everything has become more difficult. Let me give you one example. After the demonstrations in Jakarta in 1998, it was quite easy for Indonesians who were either Christian or Chinese or both to apply for asylum in the United States and win asylum in the United States. Now, if I'm speaking to any Indonesian client or potential client who comes into my office, I tell them to think very carefully about applying, because it's a lot more difficult. And if you apply and if you lose and you're not in valid legal status, then you're placed almost immediately on the deportation track. So it can be quite dangerous. So I always try and help people find if there's another way, another legal way that they can stay in the United States besides applying for asylum. It's quite challenging, I might add.
Okay, if one were an Indonesian who wished to emigrate to the United States, what is your recommendation?
Probably the easiest way, if you're not going to nikah dengan warga negara Amerika, probably the easiest way would be to melamar untuk menjadi mahasiswa di salah satu universitas. Then, sesudah terima gelar, you have a better chance, a better occupation to apply for a green card or an H1 visa through your occupation.
Okay. How long have you been doing immigration?
Oh, I'm too old, saya sudah sesepuh. I've been practicing immigration law for about 25 years now.
I see.
And it's still very challenging. They say that immigration law and tax law are the two most complex kinds of law in the United States, and I really believe it, because immigration law is very, very complex. I'm learning something new all the time from changing situations and changing interpretations by the government.
Okay. What else do you do beside immigration?
I do business law, and I do family law, which largely consists of divorce actions or child custody actions or wife or husband support actions. So I do a combination of the three things: immigration, family law, and business law. Probably 60% of my practice is immigration law, maybe 20% is family law, and 20% is business.
Can you give us your phone number and your address?
Oh, sure, of course. I'm in downtown San Francisco. I have a lovely office overlooking Market Street in the Bay. My address, it's actually two addresses. It's one building, a corner building. The first address is number 1 Sutter Street, S-U-T-T-E-R. The second address, but it's the same building, is 544 Market Street, and I'm in Suite 700. My telephone number is area code 415-391-4949, and my email address is Allan, spelled A-L-L-A-N, .Samson, spelled S-A-M-S-O-N, sbcglobal.net. That would be spelled Sam, Bob, Charles, global, like the word global.net. So I will always respond to telephone calls, and will always respond to emails if you have any questions. But pardon me. But back to your first question, John, about immigration law. It's always changing. It's a very difficult law, and unless you have a very, very easy case, like you're marrying an American citizen, which is probably one of the easiest cases to do, I really would advise consulting an immigration lawyer, somebody who belongs to the American Immigration Lawyers Association. And there are quite a few, and the advice they give you will be, I hope, good advice. I know I'm very concerned about my clients. I don't want to put them into any danger, and I do not want to have themselves or put themselves into any danger. So that's why it's quite important to get good professional advice for almost all immigration situations.
I have a question. There is a case where the lady is out of status, and she is married to an American. Okay, what's the outcome on that? Is there any possibility to
Very
get
definitely. If you're out of status, that means you entered the United States legally, and you were in status at one time, but you've since become out of status. If that lady marries an American citizen, then she can get a green card, get American permanent residence that way through her American citizen husband. That is generally considered to be the easiest way. So if you are out of status, don't worry if you're engaged. Many people who are out of status and who are young think, well, maybe I'll meet an American and get married to the American citizen and then get a green card that way. And it often works out quite nicely that that does happen, and they are able to obtain a green card.
Okay. All right, Allan, thank you very much for today.
Thank you, John. It's a great pleasure. Thank you very much. Terima kasih banyak.
Thank you.